What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Birds of the Round Table. Our preseason review continues, and tonight we are breaking down everything we learned from the Eagles versus Patriots game, talking winners and losers, top takeaways, player of the game, and more. Joining us, he is Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. What's up, Ryan?
Not much. Ready for this preseason to already be over, but I'm glad we at least are watching football, talking football, and man, that first regular season game, Commanders coming to town, can't get here soon enough.
Man. Amen. Much more entertaining preseason game this week for sure. Guys, if you're watching us live, please be sure to comment and react. We'll throw your questions straight into the show. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's roll into it. Ryan, what was your top takeaway from week 2 of the preseason?
That honestly, we have a quarterback problem.
Oh, nice.
I feel terrible about our backup options, in all honesty. Andy Dalton looks like he should have retired 10 years ago. And Tanner McKee looks like a shell of himself. You know, we have clearly have witnessed the peak Tanner McKee, and that's no longer the Tanner McKee we have. So, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried about that. Moving forward, I thought Andy Dalton, hey, you get the vet, the guy's played forever, he knows what he's doing. Well, it looks like his body forgot to tell his brain, and they're not talking. So I'm just not thrilled about it. That's say the least.
Yeah, we're kind of jumping the gun here because my loser, of course, I think everyone's loser was Andy Dalton, but it really is the backup quarterback position, like you alluded. Like it's a real question mark. The fact that Tanner McKee cannot clearly outperform a very much washed up Andy Dalton is more than a concern, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, this is your boy. I mean, dare I say, maybe we should try to get Kenny Pickett back here.
I actually made that note while I was watching the game. Is the backup, the quarterback 2 might not even be on this roster yet,
It
which
might
is
not be.
no, it's
And
not.
listen, that's okay. You know, I think people ultimately get too hung up on the name on the back, and Tanner's been here for a while, and Dalton has been in this league for forever and respected and whatnot, and I'm okay if neither of them are the backup quarterbacks. I like what we see out of Cole. I just think he has a long way to go before he's ready, but I'm intrigued to see his progression. But outside of that, pray Jay Hurts don't get hurt.
What's your take? Do you think they're trying to move Andy Dalton more or Tanner McKee more? For right now, I think it's Tanner McKee, but I'm not really 100% on that.
Yeah, I feel like you can make an argument, a good argument for both. Tanner McKee obviously has shown at times, be it brief and not recently, but could potentially be something in this league. And maybe he's just not jiving with the new offense or whatever the reasoning is. And Andy Dalton, he's done it. He's done it multiple years, multiple teams, multiple coordinators, multiple offenses. You name it, he's fine. It's just this preseason, man. He just literally looks like he can't hit the broadside of a barn. I don't know what. I hope it's not, the fall off. Eventually every athlete goes through this is they get to an age where their body just cannot do what it once could. And I hope that hasn't happened with Dalton, or at least, not enough to where we couldn't get something for him. So,
Yep. If you watch our show from last week, I think the overall, the offense really struggled, but there were flashes that there was some positivity coming from the depth on the O-line. And I thought the one of the top takeaways this week was the backup O-line. And you look at Willie Lampkin, Markel Bell, Drew Kendall, even Jake Majors, like all of those guys were getting major push. I don't know if that's the product of their depth on the defensive line or what, but man, Drew Kendall looked like an absolute beast. Looks game ready, no doubt about it. Willie Lampkin, I
Stud.
I mean, he might be pushing us for a starter job sooner than we think. And I remember an earlier show when we were talking about players on the hot seat, and one of my top answers on that was Cam Jurgens. And I thought Willie Lampkin these last 2 weeks has been outstanding. He looks just the way they talk about him, like just being a pro's pro and just a bull. Markel Bell, straight stud. We'll get into him in a little bit,
Monster.
but bottom line, the Eagles went from 0 depth to having a great problem on their hands with some of the backup guys. Even Morris
Yeah.
looks flashes.
I mean, the credit clearly has to go to the new O-line coach, Cooper.
Yes, thank you.
He has come in. Not only did he take what you just said, something where we were very worried about our depth, and he's coming in replacing a legend, and he has handled all that with the new offense, handled everything in stride, and he has made this backup unit look pretty formidable. And I honestly, I was a little hesitant about Markel Bell when they drafted him. I like, listen, I got it. He's got the size, but he looks like listen, whenever if this is truly Lane's last year, I'm kind of interested to see kind of how he's gonna look next year. Not gonna lie.
I agree.
Couple
I
couple
agree.
months back, I was petrified.
Yeah, Markel Bell looks like he's ready to go. The way he's moving people, moving
He's
bodies.
so big. Just a monster.
We'll get to him in a little bit, but let's jump into winners and losers. There's our preseason week 1 stock up and stock down. A lot of repeats, I think, here in preseason week 2.
Yeah.
Ryan, lead us off, man. Who's your top stock up guy on the roster?
I mean, he's the first one sitting right there, and it has to be Josh Worrell.
I love it.
I mean, he gets himself a sack. He looks explosive. He does, you think of this guy, oh, he's literally playing his first 2 games ever, and he doesn't look lost. He looks like he is growing every day. Every time he's out there, every rep, he almost looks like he's growing. I'm 100% convinced there's no way that the Eagles are going to be able to put him through waivers and think they're going to get him back. So that being said, I wouldn't be shocked if he's a 53er. So you gotta love it. It's a great story. I mean, and to a lesser degree, Bernard, who got more of the hype, you know, when the draft happened, but Waro is certainly, taking most of the hype right now.
Yeah, by far the biggest surprise of the preseason, right up there with another defensive tackle on that D line. But second football game ever, and legitimately looks like a solid edge rusher. He had multiple quarterback hits, a sack, showing serious juice off the edge. He's got raw athleticism. Like that is evident from the jump. Like you could see it. Like he's got an incredible foundation to build on. He's a guy that has explosiveness, the motor, the physicality, all the things you can't teach. And like you said, the biggest question now is roster versus stash. And I think he's a lock to make the roster. I think at least the initial 53. I think they get creative elsewhere, and as we'll see. But man, like he's not a fun story anymore, Ryan. Like this guy is genuinely
It's legit. And again, hats off to Clint Hurt, who is now in charge of taking 2 dudes who have never really ever played and trying to mold them into NFL football players. And I I I mean, he's only had a couple of weeks with them, but man, I feel like he's already done an insanely good job with both Wuru and Bernard, who again, I think is only slightly behind Wuru, just given the physical freak nature that he is.
I and when he got that sack, like, you know, even off the field, everything off the field, like that doesn't really matter on the box score. Like you can tell he's already buying into the culture. You can tell his teammates love him, like top to bottom. The D line room has completely embraced him as mentors, from Grenard to Hunt, and I just love it. So that's a great way to start off the winners. I'll go. Give me Ty Robinson as my second winner or stock up of the night, because it's actually amazing that players can actually develop after a disappointing rookie year. Maybe we'll be talking about Eli Stowers in 12 months from now in the same light. But man, the Vanilla Gorilla is officially off life support. He has absolutely clicked ever since getting in a fight with Tyler Steen at camp. But the physical tools that we're seeing, the swim moves, the stunts, like the strength, the speed, the athleticism, it's finally clicking. And man, him developing under Vic Fangio, I'm excited. He's not a finished product, but Saturday night was another huge step forward, man. The Vanilla Gorilla is alive. Any thoughts on Ty Robinson?
Yeah, I'm been waiting for this because I felt like pretty much all last year you didn't even hear the name Ty Robinson at all. It was like he wasn't even on this team. And, it's good to, hear his name finally get mentioned and have him go out there and in a game act like he belongs. And then that's exactly what you wanted to see. So I'm super happy that, again, we're gonna probably need him to come in next year and be the
Yes,
third D tackle.
that's the take.
Yeah.
That's the to
And
be the
and
next guy
and
out
this
there
is
more.
exactly, the first step towards that, and that's all you needed, so,
Yeah, the we always talk about quarterback factory, but the what Clint Hurt is doing with this defensive line, that next man up mentality, you need to start talking about defensive tackle factory because I'm excited.
yeah, agreed.
Who you want to talk about next? Any other
Uh,
guys stock up?
I mean, I have to mention Carson Steele.
Nice.
Listen, still think it's a long shot that he makes this roster, but, man, did he just give 31 other teams a great tape to look over. I mean, he was I mean, come on. Is he running track and field? Is just the hurdles, or are we playing football? I mean, this guy was catching stuff. He was running over people. He was running over people. He he looked he looked legit. He literally looked like CMC out there, and not a fullback. Playing a preseason game. So it was good to see somebody other than Saquon and Bigsby go off. And I if you're not going to say it, I'll say the other white running back as well later. So it's good to hear both their names go off.
Yeah, Carson Steele was really impressive. He looks like a legitimate gadget piece. The versatility stood out for sure. The pass pro looked really solid as well, which is absolutely vital for
Huge.
that role. I agree. Like that, it's going to be an uphill battle for him to make this roster. We'll get into Shipley in just a moment. But I thought he was really impressive. And the fact that he wrangles alligators, man, like maybe just gives him just that extra juice. I don't know.
Maybe, maybe.
Did you know that? I had no idea. Like,
I had heard that. I feel like it wasn't during the game, but I feel like somehow I heard it prior to the game, and yeah, I was like, "What does that even mean? Like, who does that? Why is that even a thing?" I know, like, what was Cam Jurgens like? He'll sit there and do, his offensive line drills against, cattle, like like weird. Whatever helps, I guess, right?
I thought Carson Steele was phenomenal. Whereas, like, Will Shipley, who had a very good game, don't get me wrong, but I thought he was more of a product of the offensive line absolutely opening up huge holes for him. Whereas Carson
Definitely.
Steele,
But you
it's a,
also still gotta run through those holes. You know what I mean? You can open up as big as a hole, and if you don't have the instincts and know what the heck you're doing, you're gonna run into the back of somebody. So I still am gonna put Shipley on the stack up for sure.
okay, I'll put it on. I think the bigger take, and this could go alongside our top takeaway, but like I cannot wait to see Saquon Barkley and Tank Bigsby run behind this O line.
Oh,
This
right?
that's the take, right?
Yeah.
Like everything we heard during practice between the Eagles and the Patriots, even though yeah, the pass game is still kind of out of sync. I'm hearing really positive things about this Eagles run game, just getting back to winning the line of scrimmage, getting 3-4 yards on the ground every single time, wearing out defenses. That's what we need to get back to. So, yeah, like I said, the offense was terrible in week one, but there were flashes that the O line is getting back to the identity that we expect from them. And that's what we saw again in week two.
Yeah. I mean, this is exactly what it looks like when you're installing a new offense. Is is the O line and the run game come along first, and it seems like the pass game is always a step behind. It's slow. It takes a second, and it may even take a game or two before it really starts humming. But if it can get there, this offense can be scary. We know it can. We know we have the weapons to. And it's already great to see that this run game looks like it's going to be electric once again, and that's a fantastic start for this offense.
All right. I'm going to take the layup here and talk about Markel Bell. Man, just an absolute physical freak. This is a
Beast.
guy that's enormous. You can see that he moves incredibly well for his size. He's only 22 years old. Crazy, crazy ceiling that we're talking about here. His technique clearly still needs a lot of work, but that's the exciting part. Like, this is a guy that already knows how to use his size and length and athleticism. The biggest question mark out of Markel Bell was that he needs to improve with his run blocking. So far, Ryan, this guy has blown all those expectations and then out of the water and then some. He's already excellent in pass pro. And if the run blocking continues to develop, man, like this guy's could be putting Fred Johnson's projection going forward a little bit of a question mark. I think this guy, big picture wise, is the real deal. And like you said earlier, credit to Chris Cooper. Obviously, impossible to replace Jeff Stoutland, but what he has done with Markel Bell as a raw athlete with incredible size. If this is what we're getting at age 22, man, what are we going to be seeing when he replaces Lane Johnson when he's 23, 24? This looks like a home run pick. And like you also said, Ryan, I wasn't the biggest fan of this selection in general. So I'm happy to eat crow. I think Markel Bell looks like a star.
Yeah, it's again, this is exactly the steps you want to have happen. You know, we don't know for sure, but it does seem like this is last year for Lane, and you know, most likely they're not. They already invested a third round pick. They're not going to just turn around next year and invest another first round pick on another guy. So it appears to be Markel Bell moving forward, and as long as he can, get out there, he's going to be the guy. And these are the small first steps that you really want to have happen. And he's looked dominant. And again, I get it. It's preseason and it might not be up against the Miles Garrett's of the world, but you can't help who you're going against. You gotta dominate against who you play against. And so far he is. So I like it.
And everything we hear, like just a student of the game. He's got mentors all across the O line. He's soaking it up. Just exciting, exciting stuff. I don't know how much we'll see him on the field in 2026, but the future's bright. Ryan, do you have another stock up?
You said my running backs. Yeah, I mean, I'll just kind of piggyback off your Bell pick, and I'll say Lampkin again. You might as well throw in Kendall in there if you just want to call it a position. But yeah, I mean, Kendall and Lampkin has looked great. They were out there. They were making insanely nice blocks. They were the part of the reason why Will Shipley looked so good and on his touchdown run. Kendall and Lampkin were the ones who really opened those holes and really were able to get him free. So yeah, again, I think this goes to Cooper, the great job that he's done, that he has made this second unit something to be fearful. And we're I think that's one of the scariest things is obviously any position you don't want your starter to go down. And there are certain positions more than others that you really don't want them to go down. And I think Philadelphia Eagle fans have to feel a little bit better about offensive line, considering how many injuries there were last year. That should something somewhat similar happen, that we're in a better spot than we were last year. Much, much better spot than we were last year. And isn't that ultimately the goal is to constantly be improving? And your depth, your O-line depth has improved immensely, immensely. So shout out to Lampkin, Kendall, Bell. I mean, honestly, everybody looked great. So yeah, those two for specifically.
Is not is it crazy to say, Ryan, that these three guys could be starters next year, as early as next year?
I mean, it certainly isn't the craziest idea I've ever heard. I mean, given given the injury history of some of these players that are they're going to be replacing, and given the fact that Lane Johnson, yeah, I could definitely see it. A combination of two out of those three for sure. But yeah, I mean, and if that's the case, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, as much as it would suck to lose anybody, because I think we do have Pro Bowl caliber players in 4 out of our 5 offensive line positions. It would suck to lose any of them, much less Hall of Famer in Lane Johnson. But I think where we were last year to where we are now, given the same situation, I'm feeling too.
Should we put Darius Cooper on this list?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was gonna say he's one that I was kind of looking at. You know, I still think there's. I mean, I honestly, I'm going to put Trot on this list as well.
Go on. Yep, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, while all of our wide receivers weren't out there, he clearly looked the best wide receiver out there. So yeah, what do you have? 3 for 44, and just his route running looked crisp, and he was active. He's doing all the right things, and it's a lot different of a wide receiver room this year. He could get some playing time here in the regular season, and it wouldn't be shocking at all if he did.
Especially with Johnny Wilson now cut.
Yeah, womp
So
womp womp, Johnny Wilson. I mean that. Not gonna lie, but I was honestly, as much as it sucks. Obviously, these guys, their dream are cut short. But I think for the fact that so many Philadelphia Eagle fans were just, holding on to hope for Johnny Wilson, now we can just push it aside and let's, I'm sure somebody else will come and you'll obsess about some other person. So, but
yeah. All right. Any other stock ups? I don't really have any other
good.
stock.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, let's go to stock down. For me, it's the Eagles' defensive backfield, especially the depth. I am concerned, Ryan. I am legitimately concerned. The starting group, I think, is going to be good, even though I think Reek Woolen is going to be a major headache this year. That is just my vibe.
Potentially.
Safety is already a concern. We already know that. Like, the starters are a lock, but after like Reek Woolen, like if anybody gets hurt, like I don't know what they're doing going forward. There's major concerns. Sean Wade is making plays left and right. He deserves a
Yeah, I
shout
was
out.
gonna say he might be a stock up guy.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's put him on there. But you're
He's
absolutely right.
making money.
He's the only one. I mean,
Like,
Ringo
Ringo. I don't like what
just consistently just it's like he's trying to disappoint me. And it
keep
just
him on special. Like the more he's out there, the more like just stop.
I know.
Just keep him on special teams. He's a great special teamer. No one ever is going to disagree with that. But the lack of margin for error in this defensive backfield, but my goodness, man, I'm a little concerned.
I'm a lot concerned. But I mean, seriously. I mean, who's it? Mac McWilliams can't stay healthy. He was what? He was out there for a tiny bit before getting hurt. You have what's the other guy? Thomas. He's the one who gave up the touchdown to Kyle Williams.
If weight loss has felt like a losing battle, this summer can be different. Skip the guesswork and try Weight Loss by Hims. Access an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill and the Wegovy pen, plus the support to actually stick with it. With Wegovy at Hims, lose up to 20% of your body weight when combined with diet and exercise. It helps you regulate your appetite, eat less, and keep weight off. Plus, Wegovy is the first ever GLP-1 pill for weight loss, so there are no needles needed. Through Hims, everything happens online. You'll connect with a licensed provider who will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is delivered right to your door. No insurance necessary. Ready to reach your goals? Visit hims.com/FFSN to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's HIMS.com/FFSN. hims.com/FFSN. Weight Loss by Hims is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk AS. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information, and restrictions, visit hims.com.
Something big is coming. On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive offers, and an all-day celebration built for sports fans. The countdown has begun, and all roads lead to Game Day. So whatever your favorite sport is, DraftKings has you covered. So get ready to celebrate a new season as new DraftKings customers get $200 in bonus bets when they sign up with code PINPULL and spend $5 within 21 days. That's code PIN, P-I-N, PULL, P-U-L-L. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Pennsylvania only. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 in non-withdrawable bonus bets issued every 7 days via click-to-claim for 21 days. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer. I've never been a nicotine user, but I'm always looking for ways to improve my focus and my energy, especially when I'm working out or I have a lot of work to get done. And I don't always want to rely on caffeine to help me get there. That's why I've been using Ultra pouches. They're 100% nicotine and caffeine free, but they still give me a noticeable boost in focus and energy without that jittery feeling or a later crash. So I'll pop one in 5 minutes before a workout or when I'm sitting down to grind film study and I really need to lock in. And I love that I get that energy boost without the cup of coffee in my hand. My favorite flavor so far is the Cool Mint, but it comes in multiple flavors: watermelon, citrus, blue raz. If you want to try them, new customers can use the code PIN, that's P-I-N, and get 15% off at takeultra.com. That's takeultra.com, code PIN. And when they ask where you heard about Ultra, please tell them the Eagles Pinpull Network sent you.
Before the season even kicks off, everyone's making predictions. Who wins the division? Who makes the playoffs? Who's lifting the trophy at season's end? On Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform, you can trade those predictions in a live market. For instance, can the Pittsburgh Steelers win at least 9 games this season? If the Steelers do, they're currently trading at 45% probability. A $100 trade pays out over $200 if the Steelers reach just 9 wins. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. Trade the draft pick, the game, and more on Kalshi. Download the Kalshi app and use code FFSN to get up to $500 in bonus credits when you trade $25. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Just completely missing that tackle.
I'm not sold on Michael Carter.
No, same.
Not sold on Cole Wisniewski.
No.
Jonathan Jones probably makes this roster by default.
Yeah, only because of the veteran nature of him. Yeah, sure.
And then you have like a guy like Gushikin
Yeah.
that Vic Fangio apparently loves. I don't know. This is a major problem. I think this is definitely
You have like 5 or 6 guys that I don't ever want to see on an NFL field. Ever.
Yeah.
Again,
if one of our guys goes down, this could be a problem.
So Howie, if you're listening, which I know you do, I know you constantly are watching in the Eagles Pinpull Network, but do me this favor. Do something. Do something. Get a 4th corner. Get a second safety, a third safety, a first safety, whatever. Get another legit NFL safety. Make us feel better, please. You've done such great things with the depth on many, 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 many other positions. Let's give the D-backs some love. I know it's very top heavy, but you need the depth.
What should we do? Do you have another stock down?
I have to say Andy Dalton. I don't think I'll officially put McKee. I don't think he necessarily had a bad game. I don't necessarily think he had a great game either. So like he's kind of stuck right in the middle, which isn't a great place to be either way. But yeah, Dalton for sure.
Can I add Howie Roseman's quarterback factory in this? It doesn't look good, especially considering he's probably actively trying to trade both.
Yeah, probably.
Not promised.
I'm gonna say Eli Stowers again.
Really?
I mean, listen, I talk about wanting and waiting and hoping and, you know, waiting to be proven right. He's off to a mighty, mighty slow start. Now, obviously, he's making the roster regardless. But, what? He had 2 or 3 targets, didn't have any catches, didn't play more than the first half. So, I mean, at least he's not. Who knows? Maybe he got a little banged up. I don't know. I haven't heard any injury update on him. So I don't know if he got banged up and that's why he didn't play much in the second half or at all. If that's the case,
He
that's
was, to
even
be fair,
worse.
he was open on that one play that I think it was Andy Dalton totally missed him, or it was
Well,
Tanner
yeah, that
McKee.
was 100% Andy Dalton's fault. You're right. And that's one big reason why the hell he's in this list. But yeah, again, I just think Stowers has been so disappointing so far this camp and preseason. So I think until he has a good game, he should remain on this list.
I think it's more related to the Eagles' win now, kind of window. It's also related to the lack of depth at tight end. They need a guy to step up because Goddard's on a 1-year deal in his injury history. But I'm going to ask you a crazy question, Ryan. Ready? Who would you rather phantom IR? You could make this player spend the entire season in the weight room, just building muscle and learning the NFL, but to their benefit. Is it Eli Stowers or is it Josh Werru?
That's a good one. And you're saying for the entire year?
Yeah, just phantom IR, and they could just learn the game and just build muscle.
Oh, that's tough because you look at Waro and you're like, obvious. That's the obvious answer, just given the lack of, playing the game, and he would benefit so much. But I also feel the same way with Stowers. You could build him up. You could make him a true blocker. Obviously, he's got the offensive skills. That's gonna come, but yeah, it's the blocking, being out there and building the muscle and learning the speed of the NFL game, which I feel like is part of the problem. Injuries, another part of the problem, but yeah, man, I just I feel like it's got to be Waro. Whereas like
Because on one end
Stowers,
you protect Werru, you let him grow under Grenard, Jalix Hunt. You let that.
yeah, exactly. I feel like he's got a lot of mentors that he could learn from, and whereas I feel like Stowers might be more of a learn, on the field in the game kind of thing. Whereas you're gonna need to put him out there just because you have no other options offensively to have a second tight end. And given the frailty of Dallas Goedert at times, you may just have to, run 2 tight end sets and have one tight end staying and blocking and Eli go out there and catch some footballs. So it's probably what you'd have to do, sadly. But
The reason I ask is both are very new to the position.
sure,
Eli
right, and yeah, don't get me wrong, but also as a former quarterback, though, you should, that should give you a little leg up as far as routes and where to be and what to look for and this, that, and the other. So, and I thought that was more than fine, but apparently the speed of the NFL is a little tough for some people, and that's what it seems like.
Josh Werru has shown more in this short of time span than we've seen from guys like Uche. Like
Yeah.
who am I? You know what I mean? Like
You're right. You're not wrong.
Like,
Not wrong at all.
he's popping.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
I'm
think you've seen
going
more
to play on
out of Bernard than Uche.
agreed. That's true. Both clearly need to, learn the game and, let the speed of the NFL come to them. They're thinking too much, but Josh Werru, the fact that we're talking about him over a second round pick is crazy to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Crazy.
I mean,
All right.
you look at you go back to the draft and, you look at the deficiencies of this team and you're like, man, what about McNeil Warren? Wouldn't he be a great safety to have on your team rather than Eli Stowers?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not giving up on Eli
No,
Stowers. I think
I'm
he's
not
going to
giving up. I'm definitely not giving up. I like Eli Stowers, and I think he was a good pick, but I just did not expect him to be
this behind the
this
eight ball.
slow to pick it up. This
Because
slow
Dallas
to,
Goedert, I feel like when Dallas Goedert came his rookie year, he was an immediate impact player. Am I right on that? Like, he was making plays.
maybe no, because he was still behind Ertz, so he didn't get a lot of opportunity. But he certainly wasn't like Ertz, where it just took 3 seasons before Ertz finally figured it out. I think it wasn't until his second season that he really lifted off, and then they really had the two-headed monster. But yeah, I mean, first season he did a lot better than Ertz's first couple of seasons, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Any other stock downs?
Michael Jordan, I just feel like this is a guy that you brought in, specifically to be a veteran, presence on this guard and or on this line, and it doesn't look like he knows what he's doing, and it looks like he's getting surpassed by every other depth piece that we have on the offensive line.
True.
So
It is very true.
I don't doubt that he's not on this roster when it comes to the Commanders.
I also want to throw a stock up. Zion Wilson looks really good. He made some nice plays at the point of attack. I'm going to give him a shout out. Cole Wisniewski, I didn't even notice him. AJ Epinesa, I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing from him.
Yeah, I think he'll be a good situational rusher.
And Chance Campbell, we finally got our first glimpse of Chance Campbell. I really wasn't that impressed. Oh, Gabe Hall. Give me Gabe Hall. Stock
Yeah,
up.
yeah, he was had his hands up quite a bit in the passing lanes. That's where knocked down that one. Yeah, yeah, no, I liked Gabe Hall.
All right. Any others? Are we good to go?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right. Who's your player of the game?
I mean, ugh. I'm gonna give it to Carson Steele.
Nice.
Again, I just think with the touchdown, 84, receiving yards, hurdling people, he seemed to be the story there. And while again, I completely think that there's unfortunately the numbers game are just not in favor of Carson Steele. Stranger things have happened, but he'll end up somewhere. That's for dang sure.
Yeah. As much as I want to say Werru, I'm going to go Ty Robinson. I'm going to go big picture and go Ty Robinson because, like we discussed, he's going to have a huge role in this defense going forward. The red flag was he was a 24-year-old rookie. I was a big fan of his when the Eagles selected him, and I looked like an idiot last year because he did not impress. But he's going to have a big role because Moro Jomo will likely not be on this team after this year. And the amount of money that's coming to this defense very soon, they need guys like Ty Robinson to keep churning and, developing. So Ty Robinson is a low-key important piece to
Agreed.
this
Totally agreed.
defense.
And when you think
Yeah.
about it too, the development of Ty Robinson, the development of Uar Bernard, to go along with, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, that might just be all that you need. When it comes, because you have the top two guys signed for a while, and if after this year, if Ty Robinson can take that next step and be that third guy, and Uar again can slowly come into his own and take that next step to become the fourth guy, and go along, and then maybe when Ty potentially leaves for free agency, Uar can be the third guy, or whoever. It's a system, and how he has built the system, and it's worked. I mean, we just with Milton Williams, we just Moro Joma, we're doing it, and listen, everybody develops at their own rate. There are certain things that we will probably never know about a certain player that may have happened. Something happened in their rookie year, or whatever. You don't know. We don't know. So Ty seemed to be a little non-existent in his first year. All right. Well, he seems to be hitting the ground running year two. That's what you want to see. So give him a chance, and let's see what he can do with it. Again, how many players, like I already mentioned, Zach Ertz didn't start the world on fire. Took him a couple of years. Brandon Graham took him a couple of years before he started setting the world on fire. People develop at their own rate, and it's really about trying to be the one giving them the chance when that break happens. And given the fact that you draft them and you put all this work in, you obviously want to see that come to fruition. But sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes it does. So let's hope.
And that's
Ty's on his way there.
That's the beauty of Howie Roseman, because we can be frustrated at Eli Stowers and we want him to get on the field now. But on the other end, he's throwing in guys like Willie Lampkin and, plugging in holes that are low-key important to this team in general, that are like underrated signings. So we'll see. Let's go to final thoughts on week 2 of the preseason. Plugs, time's yours, man.
Yeah, I'm glad that the A.J. Brown week is over. We can stop friggin' talking about it. And in fact, I'm pretty sure Saquon kind of said almost the same thing without actually saying it. But he's like, I hate joint practices. Well, yeah, I get it. Shout out to all of the insane Philadelphia Eagle fans that actually went up to New England to watch those practices. You guys, I don't know whether to be more impressed, kind of maybe sad, or, I don't know. Well, you guys don't have responsibilities in your life. I don't know. Maybe you got way too much disposable income. I don't know. Feel free to, send some my way. But yeah, outside of that, we're coming down one more game, and we got the public practice tomorrow, which my son and I will actually be at. So if anybody sees me, come on, say hi. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Final thoughts. I'm really positive about the preseason so far. And I'm normally not that much of a positive person. For me, it starts with the Eagles' interior defensive line and that depth. I'm very, very positive with Ojomo to Robinson and Bernard, and going forward, I'm very positive about that. I think that's, everything starts from there on defense. And then on the opposite side, from week 1 to week 2, the depth I'm seeing from the interior offensive line is there. From Drew Kendall to Willie Lampkin, and that is a huge component to the Eagles' success, especially for Jalen Hurts, because we know that's an area he struggled. If you can get great pressure up the middle on defense, that has a huge impact on Jalen. So for me, I'm really good. I'm happy as a clam right now, which I'd never say, even though they're 0-2 in the preseason. Wins don't matter.
But nobody. The only team that cares about that is the Baltimore Ravens.
So I'm really good. I'm very happy. Going forward, we'll do one more review of the Eagles' third preseason game. And throughout the entire offseason, we have been doing fun shows on, I'm just sharing my screen, most underrated, why the Eagles offense will dominate, top 3 reasons the Eagles win the Super Bowl, top 5 bold predictions, top 5 most important to the Eagles offense and defense, and schedule predictions and prop bets, fill in the blank, roster projections. And we're going to revisit all that and kind of laugh at it or double down on it. I think that's going to be really fun.
Exactly. It's either I'm going to look like an idiot or I'm going to be like, I told you so. What?
Maybe we'll grade it, like looking good or looking bad. I don't know. We'll give it a color.
Come up with something.
Yeah, but it'll be really fun. We also have a guest coming for week 1 against the Commanders. So that'll be really fun. So be on the lookout for that. He is Ryan. How did I get on the left side?
I never trust my own screen that it mirrors the screen that the people see. So
I could have sworn I was on the right
I
side.
feel like that's a Riverside thing. Because StreamYard used to have it on point. Whatever side you were on, that was the side you were on.
All
I
right.
knew where to point. Now I don't know where to point.
Yeah, I never know. I've been doing shows for like 10 years and I still can't figure that out. Which direction
Well,
I should be pointing.
almost 20 and that's still the same way. I'm like,
All right. He is Ryan. I'm Deibs. We'll see you next week. Probably no post game for the last time this weekend. Of course, as week 1 starts in the regular season, we'll have post games every week.
time.
Thanks to winners and losers. If we missed any, throw them down in the comments below. Give Ryan a follow at Philly Sports PSA. I am Deibs, Mr. Crockpot. Thank everyone for watching. Stay